This evening, Ministry of Social Protection donates 2 minibuses. Father killed in front of family on East Bank Public Road. Private sector gives take on alcohol policy discussion. East Coast Demerara Road expansion project over 55% completed in the region. Jamaican hospital institutes new security measures after recent kidnapping. And internationally, Zimbabwe's government accused of human rights violations against protesters. Greetings to our viewers in Guyana and around the world. Today is Wednesday, January the 23rd, 2019, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Esther Sobers brings us a report of a father who was shot and killed in a suspected hit on the East Bank Public Road.
A father was killed in front of his family. Last night, 48-year-old Kelvin Walters was shot and killed whilst he was driving along the Magdun Public Road, East Bank Demerara. According to sources, Walters was in the company of his reputed wife, Roxanne Henry, and a 5-year-old child while he was driving south along the East Bank Public Road, when the 2 men on a motorcycle rode up alongside him. The men had a verbal altercation which later resulted in the 2 riders blocking the car path. In an effort to evade the men, Walters reportedly rolled over the motorcycle, but the pillion rider retreated and shot Walters in the mouth. As a result, he lost control of the vehicle, which slammed into the median. The men later fled by foot into nearby villages, leaving behind the 9mm pistol and 4 matching live rounds of ammunition. Walters' wife received minor injuries, whilst her husband died before receiving medical attention. Police investigations are ongoing. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. A minor faced the Georgetown Magistrates Court this morning accused of misappropriating funds. 30-year-old Garraway of Hadfield Street is accused of selling $1.17 million worth of Mercedes car parts for Claremont Cummings between June 1st and the 15th, 2015, but failed to give Cummings the funds obtained from the sale. Cummings is claiming that Garraway misappropriated the property and converted the same to his own use and benefits. Garraway denied the allegation. However, his attorney told the court that a third party was involved in the transaction. That person reportedly failed to pay Garraway for the parts, which in turn caused the defendant to be unable to return the proceeds to Cummings. Magistrate Faith McGusty placed Garraway on $100,000 bail, but ordered that he lodge his travel documents with the court and report to the Brickdam Police Station every other Friday. Garraway is expected back in court February 13th, 2019. The multi-day workshop regarding Guyana's alcohol policy involves stakeholders in the health industry, civil society, and of course the nation's alcohol manufacturers and vendors. Wendell Jeffrey tells us that the workshop was well received by the business entities.
And then the issue that came up constantly was, why are you talking about marijuana? Talk about alcohol as well. Well, today we are talking about alcohol. Alcohol, we are looking at policy on alcohol use and abuse. I think there's no one who says alcohol should be abolished. Alcohol has been with us throughout the ages.
Last week, the PAHO WHO began discussions on the growing epidemic in Guyana. Suicide, traffic accidents, and domestic violence related to the excessive consumption of alcohol. Speaking to Channel 2 Headline News at the event at the Marriott, Dr. William Addo-Crow, the head of the local Pan-American Health Organization and the World Health Organization, said that Guyana is at the forefront on the tobacco initiative, and we are also likely to lead in this area of the alcohol initiative.
With respect to alcohol, I am not too sure whether there is any country that has passed a law within the Caribbean. I don't have the data, but I have a feeling that whether some have and or not, it's up to us to pass ours and make it strong so that it's beneficial to everyone else.
Ramesh Duku addressed the workshop participants on behalf of the business community. Channel 2 Headline News pulled him aside after to ask for his synopsis of the thinking of the brewers and the alcohol retailers.
In 2017, the producers, distributors, and retailers of alcohol products in Guyana came together with the three major private sector bodies. That's the Chamber of Commerce, the Private Sector Commission, and the Manufacturers Association. These alcohol suppliers essentially developed a code of conduct for the responsible use, advertising, marketing, distribution of alcohol, and to do so in a responsible way.
Duku said that the alcohol businesses are ahead of the policy as they have already begun the well-thought-out systems putting them in place.
It does not encourage underage drinking by pregnant women, drinking and driving, etc., etc. There are requirements in the code of conduct that was signed at that time for the responsible labeling of alcohol products, and there's provision for the setting up of an arbitration panel to take complaints, not only from the public, but from anyone else.
Ado crocheted some of the intents of the impending policy.
What policies need to be in place so that we can say, okay, if a child of 18, you cannot buy alcohol. If you are under 18, you cannot buy alcohol. Whatever age the country wants to set, and also that you cannot drink more at a sitting. Or if a bar owner sees that you are a little drunk, they should not sell to you. So policy guidelines that will lead the government and the authority to set up rules to guide the use of alcohol.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. Coming up after the break. East Coast Demerara Road expansion over 55% complete. And Ministry of Social Protection donates 2 minibuses. But first, here are today's foreign currency exchange rates. For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook, Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go. Welcome back. In an effort to expand its transportation services, the Ministry of Social Protection handed over a special needs minibus to the Palms Geriatric Home and one to the JAMAICAN Children's Home. Here's Esther Sobers to tell us more about it.
The elderly and special needs residents of the Palms Geriatric Home and the JAMAICAN Children's Home are singing praises to the Ministry of Social Protection for a timely donation of 2 buses designed for their needs. In a presentation yesterday at the Palms Geriatric Home, Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali spoke about the ministry initiative in assisting the institutes.
We are very happy that we can now provide this service. As you know, we have always been providing services for elderly, and this is one step further. So I want to thank my officers for the efforts they have put in to ensuring that this little program is off the ground.
The 11.4 million Guyana dollars special need buses are equipped with multiple lifts and seat belts for maximum safety. Additionally, this is not the only assistance received by the ministry to the Palms. The minister also spoke of the renovations that was done to the Palms last year.
Recently, we installed lifts at the Palms. We have done a lot of refurbishing at the Palms, and we continue to do work here so as to make life much easier at this institution.
Minister Ali also noted that the buses will also provide services to other organizations. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Wakapoa, an indigenous community in Region 2, has received a 40-horsepower Yamaha outboard engine from Regional Executive Officer Dennis Jaikaran to assist in the transportation of school children and medical officers. Jaikaran presented a brand new 40-horsepower Yamaha outboard motor engine to the Tushao and his team, saying, quote, "This engine is given to the community, and it is my expectation that the community will care this important piece of equipment. I'm advising Tushao Cornelius to transport all school children and the elderly free of cost. I will explore the option of providing some more assistance with fuel and rehabilitation to the boat." End quote. The residents of Wakapoa will also soon benefit from an improved health facility with a solar system for a new refrigerator, electric lights, and freezer. There will also be the construction of a timber bridge at Kurumeru, Wakapau, which will help students when crossing the heavy swamplands to access their school. The project will be executed at the cost of $8 million Guyana dollars. The East Coast Highway Expansion Project is well on its way to completion. Leonard Jeffrey tells us more about it in this report.
Later this year, commuters on the east coast of Demerara will be able to breathe a sigh of relief at the completion of the next 45% of the road expansion project. Ministry of Public Infrastructure Technical Services Manager Nigel Erskine shared an update on the project.
The contractor presently is focusing primarily on the paving activities.
14 kilometers of the contracted 25-kilometer road upgrade have been completed. 5 of the 7 bridges have been built and most of the culverts are in place. Additionally, all the electrical utilities in the area have been relocated.
We are hoping that by the end of January, we should have a significant portion of the paving completed within the 4-lane section, which is from Better Hope to Annandale.
The Infrastructure Ministry is concerned about the inconveniences caused and have set up a hotline to take complaints as part of their traffic management plan.
We have a hotline, so persons who have concerns, they can call us. We have a consultant that is responsible for the supervision of the project. So persons who have complaints, they can call the consultant. We have been having regular meetings with the police for them to work along with us to assist in the management of the traffic on the East Coast. So they have been cooperating with us.
Ors kindly share the hotline number.
The number for the hotline is 615-9072.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. Coming up after the break. Jamaican hospital institutes new security measures after recent kidnapping incidents. And Zimbabwe's government accused of human rights violations against protesters. But before that, here's this week's Bridge Attraction schedule.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's for dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go. Welcome back. Now we take a look at news from the region. One Jamaican hospital installs new comprehensive security measures after a woman kidnapped a baby earlier this month. Here's TVJ Prime News with more.
When news broke that a baby was stolen from the Victoria Jubilee Hospital on January 9, there was outrage. Things got worse when it was revealed that the security guard was absent from his post at the time of the incident. 2 weeks later, the stolen baby is yet to be found, but the hospital has improved its security and has installed CCTV cameras to help keep an eye on the happenings. Colleen Wright is the CEO at the facility.
We are currently testing them to ensure that they are functioning effectively.
The move by the hospital is expected to prevent another baby from being snatched from its walls, and according to the CEO, it could also prevent pilferage. Last week, it was reported that 2 persons were in custody in connection with the seizure of items stolen from the nearby Kingston Public Hospital. But with the installation of the cameras on all wards of the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, as well as entrance and exit points, questions have been raised about the privacy of workers and patients.
We have not put them on the wards themselves. They are at the doors, the entrances and exits to capture these images. So they should not be invading people's privacy.
So, the cameras are expected to bring change, but is this the answer to the problems at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital?
We are tightening up on the security issues. It is not only the installation of the cameras, but since last week we have implemented visitors' passes and also special passes for persons who have to go to and fro in the facility.
Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
And in international news, Zimbabwe's Human Rights Commission is accusing security forces of systematic torture after recent protests turned violent. President Emerson Mnangagwa is calling for a national dialogue to address the protests over rising living costs. But some people worry nothing is going to change. Al Jazeera's Haru Mustasa reports from Harare.
Edmore Chimuti says he doesn't want his family to visit him in hospital. He's afraid they could be victimized for associating with someone police suspect participated in anti-government protests.
I was shot during the demonstration, yes. But the person who shot me was in civilian clothes. He shot me at a very close range from behind.
Last week, Zimbabweans demonstrated against a fuel price hike, which had more than doubled overnight. The government responded with force. More than 600 people were arrested.
And there is
Zimbabwe's Human Rights Commission says more people died in last week's protests than during August post-election violence.
The use of excessive force, especially the use of live ammunition, is not called for when dealing with unarmed civilians. There should be other methods of controlling crowds, and we believe that we've got a very well-trained police force in the country.
Julius Choto says his son's death was senseless. He was shot outside a police station. Kelvin was 22 years old and loved playing football.
In Zimbabwe, humanity has lost value. No life is being saved. It is being wasted. No life is being saved. But the government, the same government that said it's a new dispensation, we are going to do everything, whatever they promised, it was all thrown in the dustbin. They are now using bush tactics.
President Emerson Mnangagwa took power from Robert Mugabe just over a year ago. He promised to promote democracy and freedom of speech. Some Zimbabweans are disillusioned.
Robert Mugabe, he didn't do that. Robert Mugabe was just saying, Varuvei, hit them, you see, not kill them. So we are fools. We voted him.
The president has cut short a foreign trip and promised to investigate the crackdown by security forces. Zimbabweans are watching him. After last week's violence, some say they fear speaking out against a government that could come after them. Haru Mustasa, Al Jazeera, Harare.
Here's the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. You can also tune in 6:30 tomorrow morning for a rebroadcast and Thursday evening at 7 for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from your newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your home and do have a blessed evening.